Welcome to episode 10 of the Japan Games Cast. On this week's show, Nintendo announces plans for a new museum, Pokemon is still unstoppable, and Japanese arcades are slowly dying. All this and more coming up. All right, man, we made it. Double digits. Episode 10.
Double digits.
So let's get a little round of applause going on.
Yeah, some canned laughter. Yeah.
So anyone out there that's heard every single episode of this, there's probably no one that has. Thank you for joining us so far. Anyone that's new to the game, then welcome. I just want to throw out a few little mentions here, just because I don't do this enough at the start of the show. So I want to just remind people to follow me on Twitter at Kantan_Japan. And if there's any particular story that you're interested in the podcast, you don't want to listen to the whole thing, then remember to use the timestamps. If it's on YouTube, then it's down in the video description. And if you're listening to the audio podcast, then whichever platform, again, in the description, there should be the timestamp, so you'll be able to find the story that you're looking for. And also, we're coming to E3, so I'm going to be doing a live stream, or live kind of stream and reaction to the Nintendo Direct on the 15th, or in Japan, it's going to be on the 16th at 1 a.m. So I've put a scheduled live event for that on the channel. So if anyone wants to come and hang out with me, then that would be delightful. So yeah, that's all my announcements for the moment. All right, so how you doing tonight, Ryan?
Hey, doing good, man. How's it going?
Yeah, it's always good. Yeah, like I say, happy to be episode 10. You know, it's gone by so quickly. It feels, I don't know, like it feels like we just started. I mean, we did just start, episode 10, but it kind of crept up on us so quickly. So
yeah, that's right. But yeah, it's just getting together now.
That's it, yeah. So yeah, I've got one age-old question for you. What have you been playing this week?
Yeah, so I finally finished Pokemon Snap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I finished Pokemon Snap, and yeah, I liked it a lot. It's a pretty solid game, and
nice.
I think you've been going through it as well, right?
Well, I haven't played it since we last spoke about it, but yeah, I've been meaning to. It's on the list. I just I'm always meaning to do something, so I'll get around to it at some point.
I got about halfway through it, and then I got stuck in a spot, and I thought I was almost done with the game, so I thought about just giving it up there, just being done. But I ended up looking up a guide on the internet how to get past this one part, and
right.
It turned out there was quite a bit of game left, actually. So
oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, so if you get stuck, I recommend to maybe just check online, because
yeah, I think me and you were on the same place, right? And
yeah, those damn underwater levels, man. They I always get stuck on the water levels.
All the secrets, man.
Yeah.
How was the ending? I mean, don't tell me what happens, but like, did it feel like a satisfying ending?
Yeah, I thought so. I mean, I really like the last 3 or 4 courses, because they're just pretty solid. They're interesting looking, interesting types of Pokemon and things. So yeah, if you have time, I recommend to check it out.
Yeah, I'll get around to this week, I think, maybe.
Yeah, it's probably worth putting in that last like 3 or 4 hours just to see the end of the game. But yeah, let's see. How about you? What have you been playing this week?
Yeah, actually, I had some extra time this week, unusually. So I've been playing Fantasian on the iPad. So always get when you get some new technology, you've got to just like not stop playing with it. So I've just been like using my iPad a lot. But I told you last week, right? I got the 3-month free trial for Apple Arcade, which comes with like when you buy a new iPad, which is pretty dope. So I downloaded Fantasian and a bunch of other games, but that's the game that I've been playing the most. It's pretty cool, yeah. It's some tricky Japanese in there when it gets to like the story part, like the main character parts, like when you're walking around just talking to people, is not too bad, but it has like these little like 2D like animation, like kind of story parts, and then it gets like really fucking cryptic. It turns into like fucking Lord of the Rings. It's really hard to understand.
You've been playing it in Japanese then, right?
Yeah, of course. You got to, right? And also like, it's good because on the iPad, I can screenshot, so what I'm doing is like when I see like words I want to remember or whatever, I can screenshot the screen, and then you can use like the little pencil, you can trim down and just cut out like the part of the screen with the text on it. So I've been making like a little folder full of all the quotes I want to save for like,
cool. Just
save
like
for later.
screenshots then.
Yeah. So that's pretty useful. I'm going to use one of my examples for the end of the show, for our Japanese section as well. So
I've been searching for Japanese examples as well on my gaming recently. I just take my phone and take a little photo if there's something I think that I want to use later. But that's
nice.
Cool.
But overall, the game is really cool. I'm just going to drop a little plug for myself here. I am working on an awesome metal cover of the battle theme from the game. Actually, I've already recorded it. I just need to do a little bit more mixing and stuff to make it sound nice. But I might drop that in the next couple of days whenever I've got time to record the kind of video portion of it and do the playthrough. But overall, the game's really cool. It's got heavy kind of Final Fantasy VII vibes.
It's like Uematsu did the soundtrack, right?
Yeah, Uematsu-san. And it's I forgot the name of the guy who created Final Fantasy, because he made a new studio called Mistwalker. So yeah, it's like the classic team back together. It's like top down. We talked about it before on the show, right? But it's really, really cool. The battle system's quite straightforward, which I like. And because it's for iPad, it doesn't have any clunky controls. It's actually you tap on the screen where you want to go, and you tap, and it puts a little red pin, and then the character walks towards that point. So
okay, yeah.
It actually controls quite well on the iPad as well. Yeah,
it's like a touch screen controls then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, makes sense.
Yeah, pretty easy to navigate through. Yeah, so that's been my gaming for the week. But yeah, shall we move on to our first news article?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, cool. All right, so in our first bit of news, some financial news, which is always exciting, always gets you guys fired up. The Pokemon Company has reported record profits for last year. And this is not super unusual because of the profits, because they're always making tons of money. But it is a record year. It's the most they've ever made in a year, the most profit they've ever made. And it's the first time they've actually publicly announced their profits. So that's kind of the main reason that it's kind of made the news.
So they're just bragging, yeah? They're just trying
basically, yeah. They're just come on, we're not even trying anymore. Just you just utter the name Pokemon and money just appears out of somewhere. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But actually this is kind of funny because this company's called Kantan Games, right? And I am Kantan Gamer.
You mean what is this company? Kantan Games.
Well, they're actually a games industry and analyzing company. So this guy is quite famous, actually. This Serkan Toto, Dr. Serkan Toto. He's always dropping news on Twitter and stuff, and he gets cited by a lot of people. So I'm not sure where he's from, but he's a games analyst. Lives in Japan, and he reports a lot of Japanese games news. So he's quite well known in the scene here. But this is from his company, Kantan Games, which is no affiliation to me.
I see. Well, I'm glad we changed the name of the show.
True, yeah. But I mean, when I made my channel Kantan Gamer, I didn't know about this guy, so I still stand by that. It's still an original name.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so he was reporting about these Pokemon profits then?
That's it, yeah. So let me go to the official listing here. So this is official Gazette blog. I mean, you can tell by the web design here, this is an official Japanese government of Japan website. Believe it or not. Look at the fucking state of this website. It's just awful. But this is where they reported it. So actually, yeah. So just show the original here. That's what it is. That's the Pokemon companies profits.
Oh, I
And then
see.
just translate it for you guys so you can see it a little bit easier here. But they reported here 120 billion yen in profits, which is like 1.2 billion dollars, I think, roughly.
Wow. Is
But
that is that the auto translate from Japanese to English?
yeah,
Because I wonder if it does it right, with like the Japanese numbers, like,
it does.
you
Yeah,
know
I
what I
already
mean?
checked because it says in the picture here. I don't know if you can see this like hyakumanen.
Hmm.
So like 120,000 hyakumanen is like billion. So
Oh,
it's a bit
okay.
it's a bit confusing, but it is correct. And yeah, I
Yeah.
know most of these phrases from doing my taxes, but from
Oh, okay. Wow.
what I'm seeing here, it seems to be fairly legitimate. But yeah, it's the first time they've ever announced it. But like I say, for you guys, just to kind of get the summary, they've got 120 billion yen, which is $1.1 billion in sales, which is just mental. But a profit of $250 million. So that's just like straight up like money in the bank. Like,
Wow.
yeah. And I don't know what net profit. I think net profit is the final
Oh, I
profit,
see.
and an operating profit is like profit before you've deducted like wages and stuff. Um,
Ah.
I'm a bit bad at like business terminology, so apologies if any of that is wrong. But yeah, what I thought was interesting about this. So he says, the Pokemon Company is a private company, which means the company is not obligated to discuss the full breakdown of its financials. Whereas, like with like Nintendo or other companies like that, they often have data leaked, or not leaked, but people kind of dissect their data from like shareholder meetings. Because when you have
Hmm.
shareholders, you have to disclose, um, like what's going on with the company and inform people. And it's not that private companies don't have shareholders, but it's not like publicly traded. So because it's private, they can keep it all under wraps. And down here, it actually said, I knew it was quite a high amount. I thought it was more than this, but it says that Nintendo currently owns 32% of the voting rights in the company. So yeah, Nintendo would have gained, well, I think 32% of 170 million. So it's
Oh,
good
wow.
good times all around, for
Yeah.
uh, um
Yeah, I've always wondered about how it breaks down between Nintendo and the Pokemon Company. Because, like, even though the Pokemon Company it's owned by Nintendo, right? Um,
well, it's 32% owned.
32% owned.
Mm.
Uh, but they're like the primary shareholder or whatever, right?
I believe
I,
so, except for like the actual company itself. The company owns most of its own stocks.
oh,
Um,
okay, I
I
see.
don't. I think there are like third or fourth like shareholders as well, but I don't think they own very much, if they even exist at all. I'm honestly not too sure. Um, what I believe happened was like back in the day when the Pokemon Company was founded, basically like when the Game Freak, like this game studio that made the first game, was made. Nintendo just said like, we'll fund like a fuck ton of games or like like a ton of your content, but in return, we're going to take a big portion of the shares. But for that reason, I actually thought that Nintendo owned like over half of the company. So,
I assumed it was like a part of Nintendo. Like the Pokemon Company was like an internal studio or something.
oh no, no, no. So
But
yeah, they're completely like free to do whatever they want to a degree, right? Because obviously you always have to get the votes from your board.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, Pokemon Company is like a powerhouse on its own. I think it actually has more money than Nintendo, like as a company, because like Pokemon is just so successful that it makes more money. And I might be over exaggerating here, but it's definitely fair to assume that it makes on par money, the same amount of money as like Mario and Zelda and all those like combined.
Oh, really? Is it
Like
is it really that huge?
Pokemon's
I
like, I need to double check this, but the last time I checked, Pokemon's the most valuable brand on the planet. It makes the most money of any brand in the world,
Wow,
and
that's incredible.
that's
And
mental, right?
and what's funny is like a lot of Pokemon games don't even get that great reception.
No,
you
it's
know.
merch. It's actually merch. Well, I saw the breakdown of it, and games equate to like, oh man, I really wish I could remember where I saw this data. I think it was like about 10%, something like really small. And like the merch is the rest, like cards and like, like plushies and all the stuff they sell in the stores. And yeah.
Wow. But those are insane numbers, man. A
So,
billion dollars of
so
Pokemon, you know.
what is our next news story of the week, Ryan?
Yeah, so next up, I think we have Capcom opened a cafe,
Yeah.
and it is Okami themed. So I'm sure we all remember Okami, the calligraphy,
Yeah.
brush wielding wolf god spirit.
Doing an absolutely terrible job of explaining this game. It's it's Amaterasu, the sun goddess of the Shinto religion, and it's painted or designed in a ukiyo-e style, which is like a traditional Japanese brush style. I know this because I have an enormous Okami tattoo on my leg, and
you do?
I'm a big fan of this game, Ryan. So if you start butchering the description,
okay.
I will get very upset.
I see. So you should be the one telling the story on it.
True. Yeah. But yeah, you found this story. I didn't even see this pop up. So this is a cool find.
Yeah, it's in Ikebukuro. They're gonna be opening the Okami themed cafe on Friday, June 4th. Oh, it's already June 7th. So
yeah.
It says it will run until June 15th. So maybe this is just a short term type thing.
I think we should go down there on the weekend.
Oh yeah, maybe we should film a bit down there.
Yeah, we should go check it out. I think that'd be good.
It says they're also going to have collectible merchandise here. So in addition to Okami themed food items, they've got some merch, postcards, special coasters, and I think yeah, do you have them there?
Yeah, so the good goods here. So let's check out the goods first. So classic Japanese goods is like clear file. They always make these clear files, which are like, it's not clear because it's got art prints on, but these are like the plastic wallets you put like paper in. I guess people use them as like office stationery. We got a smartphone stand here. It's kind of interesting. But it just looks like it's made out of like cardboard. It's like 2,000 yen. Jesus Christ. Acrylic clock, mini towel. Not really feeling any of these. I'm not sure, but these are kind of cute. These little
I like the clips and the keychains.
Yeah. These are really cool. So these are just like some notepads. I like this Amaterasu eye mask, which is quite cute. So
and I think before I said until June 15th, but it runs until July 15th.
Oh, okay, that makes that sounded a bit short actually.
Yeah. Sorry, I misspoke.
That's good. That's all right. Cool. Well, that looks cool. Let's check out the food. So what they got down here? Let's check out the menu. They got mentaiko dip potato. Do you like mentaiko?
I don't really have much.
Did your girlfriend eat it? Because it's like big in Fukuoka.
Oh yeah. I don't like it very much actually.
My wife eats it like it's like fish eggs, but like really small. So it's kind of like caviar, I guess, in that sense. But yeah, my wife always gets her mom to like send it in like one of those like frozen parcel boxes from like Fukuoka. And she gets like 10 like vials of it sent over every time.
I don't really care for it that much, but they have a Okami theme.
That's it. Yeah, they got Okami themed dip here. We've got some. Oh, I didn't actually read it. What we got there? Ochazuke, this is always nice. It's just like rice with like green tea, and this like little character here. I'm not sure which character that is. We've got the happiness kanji there. It's kind of cute, and that is some sushi. You've got some sushi there, a salad. This is inari. I want to say that kanji there. It says inari something. Inari sushi. So I don't know what type of the sushi is. We've got like a little Sakura Chirashi Sushi Don here. Yeah, we got a lunch mat. And we got some postcards down the bottom here. Oh, these are cool.
Oh, yeah, these are some nice designs.
Oh, I like these. Yeah, so this is actually what I have tattooed on my leg. This exact image.
Oh, really?
Kind of her running towards the camera. But yeah, these are really cool. So I might get the postcards. Oh, and they've got drinks as well. Oh, here we go. So these are the themed characters. Yeah.
Oh, okay. The drinks are themed after characters of the game. There's Isun.
Yeah. So Amaterasu is the main character. Isun being the little mini kind of artist guy. Okikurumi. Who is that again? That's the demon, I think, like the 8-headed demon. The main enemy of the game. So that looks pretty cool. That makes sense. We've got Mikan, the guy, Mr. Mikan. He's like this weird like old man with like an orange on his head. Do you remember that from the game?
Oh yeah.
He's right at the start of the game.
I remember him. Yeah.
Suzurao. Don't remember. Actually, I didn't play this in Japanese. I played it in English, so some of the names might be different. Shiwaka. I don't know who that is either. I don't remember these two characters. Sasuna. Oh, this is the guy who like he's like the fake hero. He like pretends to know what he's doing, but he's actually just useless. Sakuya, yeah. And I think Sakuya is the goddess who lives in the tree. She gives you like some power. And Kaguya, I can't remember who that character is, but they all look very nice, don't they?
Yeah. It's quite elaborate, isn't it? There's that's nice. They've gone pretty deep with all the dishes and drinks and merchandise and things.
And they got sweets as well. There's so much stuff here, man. So yeah, I guess we don't need to go through every single item on the menu.
It's a bit long.
You guys can check this out if you want. If you just Google like Capcom Cafe, you'll find it's in Japanese, unfortunately, but the pictures obviously don't require any language skill. So yeah, that's the Capcom Cafe, June 4th to July 15th, and I think Ryan, we should go hang out there and make a little video. That'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, I definitely want to go check it out. That sounds good, and I live nearby, so that would be an easy one for me.
Oh yeah, true. You don't live too far from Ikebukuro, so actually, me neither. I live a little bit further away, but it's only like 20 minutes on the train. So, yeah, let's do it.
Cool. Well, I guess continuing on with the news today. Is this Tamagotchi news?
Tamagotchi news. It's probably not what you're expecting to hear today, but Tamagotchi is back, possibly. So, they released this video. So let's just check out the video first, actually. Which it's kind of like it was for the 25th anniversary celebration of Tamagotchi, and it shows this giant like egg in the middle of like presumably Tokyo, and it's quite cute. It just shows people like playing with Tamagotchi and having loads of fun. So they're just kind of raining everywhere all over the city. So I assume you had a Tamagotchi when you were a kid, right?
I think I did, but I don't really remember it.
Oh, really? Okay, so
I don't remember being very enthusiastic about it.
Mate, you missed out a treat. So yeah, I quite vividly remember my first Tamagotchi because it wasn't real; it was fake. Because like when the Tamagotchi craze hit England, they were like quite expensive and they were always sold out everywhere. And I was always complaining to my mom I wanted one, so she bought me like a fake one, but it was basically the same thing. But yeah, it was quite simple toy. You just you had a few options. You can like give the Tamagotchi food, you can give it water, and you can clean out its like litter tray or whatever. And there's like a little toy. So there's usually like 4 options in the game. It was so basic. But the idea was to like keep it alive. So, you basically just see like how many days can you keep this thing alive for? And eventually it would just fucking die because you forget to feed it or something.
So what happens when it dies?
It just turns to like this egg with wings and it's just dead. And then you just press like start again, basically. So you can see in the trailer here, yeah. This like app on the phone here, I don't know if this is what they're like teasing, So if we go back to the web browser over here, basically it just says, Tamagotchi first came out in 1996, and it's been continuing until, this year. It's saying that the anniversary, 25th anniversary, is on 11th, in November this year.
Wow, I didn't realize it was from the 90s. I thought it was a 2000s.
Oh, no, it came
stuff.
out. It was basically the same time as Pokemon, because that had its 25th year this year. And it was about the same. I remember getting them roughly when I was about 6 or 7 years old. But basically what they're teasing an event on the 17th of June. So this is going to be in 10 days' time. The thing I don't understand, I'm not sure what this PN and Angel and Good and Boy is. So yeah, I think this is like a collaboration with some brands possibly. But I don't know the brands, so it's hard to say. But they're saying that they have like Kimetsu no Yaiba, Tamagotchi, which is like Demon Slayer, Kimetsu Tamagotchi, which is kind of funny, Evangelion, even like Star Wars as well. There was an R2D2 Tamagotchi. Yeah, so this image here is basically what they're teasing on the 17th of June. Just something Tamagotchi is coming, So it's hard to say, but I don't. Any speculations to what this might be, Ryan?
Maybe there's a windfish inside there.
I do enjoy that reference. That's very nice.
Could be some Yoshis.
Could be. Could just be an egg.
Could just be an egg yolk.
But I'm not sure. I think maybe the market is not right for a new physical Tamagotchi device. I don't think anyone would buy it. But they did make several Tamagotchi games on like the Game Boy and the DS, and there's ones on the smartphone as well. So in that trailer that I showed you, I don't know if that was like a little snippet of the game that's going to come out, or they're showing off a game that already exists, because there are several Tamagotchi smartphone games already. I've just never played any of them, so I don't know which one they were showing. But I don't know, it might be some kind of new like social media platform with Tamagotchi or something. I don't know.
I guess we'll be finding out soon enough, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's not super big news, so I don't think we need to dwell on it for too long. But I have a kind of personal attachment and nostalgic memories for Tamagotchi. So yeah, I thought it was worth talking about, and I know there's got a lot of fans out there still. So yeah, I guess maybe. Well, I guess in 2 weeks' time, we'll find out what the hell they're teasing, and I'll let you guys know.
All right. And so I guess moving on to our next story then. So we have an article here. Japanese gaming arcades are on their last life, maybe last leg. That's what I'm used to hearing. What I'm used to hearing. But it says here that recently, due to COVID, so many arcades have been going out of business. It's been hard for them to stay afloat. And like we had said before, some famous buildings in Akihabara have been changing around, presumably due to the pandemic. But even before the pandemic, the arcades were on a downward trend. And it says here in 1986 there were 26,573 arcades, and in 2019 only 4,000.
Yeah, that's that's about 15% of the original.
Yeah, that's a huge decline.
Yeah, in 3 decades. Yeah, so I mean that's quite a long period of time, I guess, but it's a big drop, isn't it?
Yeah, and when I go into arcades, I don't often see like really new games. When I do, they tend to be like kind of predictable games, like fighting games that keep getting refreshed.
Yeah. Well, actually, we were hanging out like 2 days ago, right? We went into an arcade. And that's exactly what they had, right? Just like what did we play? Like Street Fighter, and they had like some Gundam game and
Tekken.
Tekken, sorry.
Yeah. But these these arcades, like when I go into them, they're usually in pretty rough shape, you know. Uh, like
Usually,
a
yeah, they're
lot,
quite beaten up, aren't
they're quite beat up and dirty, and like they, you
they?
know, smell like cigarettes, and they're just kind of a relic of a bygone era, you know,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
a shame because you know, there's so much potential for arcades.
Mm.
Uh, but yeah, so we went into an arcade just a few days ago, and I was having a pretty good time, but you know, I couldn't imagine myself staying in there for more than 30 minutes or so, you know.
Yeah, I think you really need to be into like the games. Like I like pretty much
Yeah,
hands down, like without fail. Whenever I go to an arcade, I always play like Taiko no Tatsujin, like the taiko drum game, which I didn't do this time, but they did have it, right? That's pretty much in every arcade, and it's just super fun. But a lot of these like games, usually when you go to the top floor of these game centers, that's where like the hardcore players are. You know, like, no, there's no casuals up there, and they
yeah,
have those
yeah.
kind of games like it's almost like strategy warfare games and stuff, and it has like a deck. And it kind to me, it looks a bit like Yu-Gi-Oh, where you put cards, like actual cards, on these like slots, and like you control like units and stuff. And I don't know. There's loads of different types of games they have up there, but like it's always those people who are like they're there for the long haul. You know, like they get in there and it's like 4 hours solid of just like gaming.
Yeah, so some of the games are pretty cheap now though. Like we were playing when we were playing Tekken, it was only 50 yen
Mm.
for a game. And you know, if that game takes 5 or 10 minutes, I mean, you could be in there for quite a few hours and spend, you know, less than 2,000,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
around 2,000 yen, right?
Actually, that wasn't bad. That's actually the first time I've ever seen a 50 yen to play game.
Hmm.
Maybe they're not that rare, but maybe just the ones in Tokyo are more expensive. But yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen it. It's almost
Yeah,
always 100 yen to play.
yeah, usually about 100. And
Mm,
you know, it's kind of tough for me to rationalize like spending 100 yen to play in an arcade,
mm.
because after you play the game 20 times, you could have bought a game, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And then you have it at home, right, where you could play as much as you want. Um, but of course, you know, with arcades, you know, you're paying, I guess, for that experience of like being there with other people, hanging out, and you know, being in that environment.
Yeah,
But
definitely, yeah.
but in the case of a lot of these arcades, they're just in such rough shape. You know, it's hard to like.
Um, but yeah, I don't think we covered this story in the show because I think it was a few months ago. But something related to this was that Sega actually sold the kind of the operations of all their arcades in Japan to another company. I forgot the name of the company, but this was like early this year or late last year. So on top of like some of them actually closing down, they just decided like, you know, in terms of profit, it wasn't worth them kind of operating these places anymore. So they actually sold that to somebody else. And I don't know how
Mm,
this other company thinks that they can fix the problem, but Sega was
yeah,
just
yeah.
like, nah, like, you know, even the arcade business was actually a big percentage of their income every year. But they just
Oh
said like,
wow.
I just sod it and just got rid of it. So yeah, it's a bit of an unfortunate situation for like Japanese games culture, right? Those arcades are so iconic. Um,
Yeah.
so I hope some of them stay open, and you know, like we've kind of already said, like we try and go in them, you know, and go and kind of visit some when we walk past. So
Yeah,
uh,
whenever I see one, I always want to duck in there and see what games they've got, you know. Even if
yeah,
I
yeah,
only hang out for 15 or 20 minutes, I usually try to play a couple rounds, you know, and
yeah, yeah.
just like take a look around a bit.
It's always
So
fun. Yeah, I mean, nothing beats like playing Metal Slug with an actual arcade stick. Like I love
yeah,
that game,
yeah.
but I never play it at home. Like I don't play with a controller. You don't play Metal Slug with a controller. It's just not the same experience. Um,
Yeah.
but I would imagine that like maybe over half of the revenue that those stores make is from tourists. So I hope
uh
that tourists can come back soon and start filling out those places again, right? Because you know
mm,
you walk around like Akihabara nowadays, and it's just empty because like most Japanese people don't go there because they're not like super nerds, right? Most people that hang out in
Yeah.
most people that hang out in Akihabara are like us, who like just
Yeah.
nerdy gaijin who come here and they're just obsessed with like Japanese games, so they want to go and check it out. So
Yeah.
it's a bit sad, yeah, and I hope the situation will rectify itself soon enough. So yeah, let's finish up our new segment today with our final story, something a little bit more upbeat. This is a super cool story, and something that I'm super interested in, and I'm sure you would too, Ryan. That is the fact that Nintendo will be converting a former factory of theirs in Kyoto into a museum of the company's history, which I'm super excited to go and check out.
I think I might be more excited about this than the Super Nintendo World, the
Oh,
theme park.
really? That's a bold statement. Oh my god.
Well, just because for me personally, like, I feel like I could have more fun in a place like this, like reading all of the, informational bits and, like seeing the retro, like
how
rare
old are you?
stuff. Yeah, I'm getting too old, man.
Yeah, I mean, not
But,
to say that it wouldn't be fun, but I mean, come on. I think because I've been to Nintendo World, like I know how awesome it is.
oh, you know how great it is, so
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I want to go to Nintendo World as well.
Yeah, that's funny though. But yeah, this place, this is like the render, right? So we've got on the screen here the render of the building. So yeah, you can see it definitely looks like a warehouse. It's got like these shutters on the side here, but they're going to turn like this little area into the bus park with the bus car park with like a little plaza you can hang out in. So yeah, there's not too much mention of what they're actually going to put inside the factory, but as I'm sure you know, Ryan, and many of you probably already know at home, Nintendo started out as like a toy manufacturer, and they also made Hanafuda cards, which is basically like a traditional Japanese card game, which has kind of heavy links to the Yakuza back in the day,
Oh, wow.
gambling and all that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
But that's how Nintendo started, and that's how they operated their business or maintained their business for like 70 years until like the concept of video games was born in like the 70s, right? And then they decided to get into it with the Famicom. And when they realized that games were like ridiculously lucrative, they stopped making traditional games. But yeah, for 6 or 7 decades, that's how they made money. So yeah, there's pictures down here. This is the factory building, which is pretty cool. It's in Uji City in Kyoto Prefecture. And yeah, it just looks super traditional kind of building,
It's interesting, like seeing Google Maps used in these articles. It's like an interactive, like you can just be there and look at the buildings.
Yeah, literally,
Yeah.
yeah. So I've actually been to the Nintendo office in Kyoto. I've never been in. You're not allowed to go inside, obviously. But I was there for other reasons. But I said to my wife, like, while I'm in Kyoto, I have to go and look at the Nintendo building. And she was like, "What do you mean?" I said, "They have their like Honsha here, their headquarters." And she was like, "Why do you want to go there?" And I was like, Why don't I want to go there? It's Nintendo.
Yeah.
So she begrudgingly obliged to my request, and we got a bus to like a 40-minute bus to like the really like factory district of Kyoto. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
It's just factories and then like Nintendo building. And she was very unimpressed, but she's a good wife, so she came with me. And I just stood outside the building like with the main gate, and there was this like little like GG like 80-year-old security guard, and just standing there looking at me weird, but he must see like random gaijin just turning up all day. And I stood in front of the sign, did my little piece, like took the photo, and yeah, I was happy. I was like, that's it. I've just took a selfie with Nintendo.
That's
and,
great,
and then we left. Yeah, so yeah, I recommend the next time you're in Kyoto, Ryan, you should get down there.
yeah. I guess the dream is to find a way to get into the lobby, right?
Yeah.
Like in a legal way, like not illegally, but like don't break in, but like just find a way to some kind of meeting or job interview or something.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, so this museum, it's also in Kyoto then.
Yeah, it's going to be Uji. So this is a different location to the headquarters, because that's still open as well. It's current. But I believe this is just where they used to store stock and do like repairs and stuff, and also make games. I think they used it for lots of different things. So they probably will keep some of the original fittings, and say like, maybe like the press for like the Hanafuda cards, or I don't know, maybe like some of the assembly lines for something. They didn't really give any details as to what it's going to be inside, but I would imagine that's probably what they'll have. And maybe like, I can imagine some kind of like room they'll like deck out with like all the consoles, and like pristine like versions of like everything they've ever made,
Yeah. Virtual Boy excluded.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that'll have its own room. It'll just be like
Virtual Boy room.
A black room, like darkness, and there'll be like a spotlight coming from the ceiling.
What would be great? What would be great is if they had like a unreleased Virtual Boy game that's like only playable like in the factory, in the museum.
Yeah, that would be cool. I do feel like they do like to do that kind of exclusive stuff. So I feel like they could have something that you can only see there to kind of encourage people to go and visit. So
yeah. Like a 64 DD game or something, something just obscure.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if I were to go there, I would be on the lookout for like obscure Nintendo stuff. That would be kind of the fun of it,
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure hopefully they'll have like a gift store and they'll have some like exclusive stuff in there. Tentatively it's named the Nintendo Museum. And they've announced that it will open sometime in the fiscal year of 2023, which extends all the way up to April 1st, 2024. So there's no set date for it. But yeah, it'll be open in a couple of years, and I will be there on day one. Absolutely guaranteed. I said this about 5 years ago when they announced Super Nintendo World. It wasn't even like a render of it. They just said like, "Oh, we're going to build a theme park," and I said, I'll be there on day one. And I was.
Oh, nice.
I was there. So I'm making that prediction now. No, not prediction, promise. I'm making that promise now. I will be there on day one.
Nice, man. Take me with you.
Let's go, man. Yeah, we'll make a video. Absolutely. All right. So we're back after a short technical difficulties break. So Ryan is now on a different camera. But let's power through and let's move on to our new releases for the week. So first up, we've got Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis.
And I believe this is a free-to-play.
It is, yeah. So it just said there in the trailer, 20th year anniversary.
And did you say you checked this one out on the Switch?
Yeah, so I've played the original on the Switch, like in the first year of the Switch. I don't remember exactly when I played it, but it was like 2018, early 2018 sometime. And it was okay, but the graphics are a bit janky. But this looks a lot nicer, so I don't know if this is like a remaster of that game for like PC or PS5 or something. And then this new Genesis aspect, I don't know if that's like new content or it's just like their way of saying like remaster.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about the content. I didn't play the original one.
Yeah.
But it looks really good. Like the I always like the art style from Phantasy Star. And I know it has kind of a cult following as well.
Yeah, it's quite popular. It's still really big in Japan. Like I said, I played number 2 a little bit, but I was actually really addicted to the first one. Back I don't know, I was like 14 or 15. It was like one of the first PC games I ever played. And like, I was playing it on like a dial-up connection, like years before I had broadband. But yeah, I was just like so addicted to it. And you get a little squad together online, you go into dungeon and battle and you collect like rare items and stuff. So yeah, this kind of does interest me actually a little bit. It looks like a just pimped up version of that original game.
Yeah, it looks nice. I always like these characters, and the whole like sci-fi fantasy thing is very appealing as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, and this is just coming out now, right?
Yeah, so this will be out on the 9th. Yeah, but overall, yeah, it looks pretty fun. It's got kind of like a Monster Hunter vibe to it as well. But the combat's a bit different, I think. And there's more like it's obviously more modern, right? You got these like lightsabers and you get like laser pistols and stuff.
Yeah, this is something I would check out. It looks like just pretty high production value, like big deal,
Yeah,
game.
yeah. But overall, yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I guess next up for our new releases is Final Fantasy VII Integrate, right?
Yeah, Integrate. So this, yeah, we've talked about this on the show before. So yeah, we don't need to spend too much time on this one, but yeah, it's coming out on the 10th. The kind of upgraded version, the Integrate version. They always have to pick these stupid English words that don't mean anything.
Integrated.
Yeah, but
I missed
sorry.
this when it released, although I really wanted to play it. And I still don't have a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, yeah.
But this, if I get a PlayStation 5, this might be one of the first games I play.
Yeah, this looks gorgeous. Yeah.
Just because like I was really hyped up about it when it released, and it's just something I gotta play,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the biggest upgrade here I can see is the frame rate, definitely. Because I got the free version of 7 Remake through the PS Plus like monthly games. And I booted it up just to see what it looked like, I had no real intention of getting into it because it's quite an investment of time, right? But I just wanted to see what it looked like. And yeah, I couldn't get over the 30 FPS frame rate.
I see. This is 60 though, right?
Yeah, so it's 60. They've improved the lighting and maybe some other things as well. But it already looks amazing, yeah.
I'm hoping that someday Square Enix will bring it to PC. Because
they might well do, yeah.
It's been rumored that it'll come to Steam like eventually.
I mean, so yeah, they brought 15 to Windows, after a year or something like that.
Yeah, and like Dragon Quest
absolutely, yeah.
11 came to Steam as well.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're gonna wait until the Integrate sales are starting to fall.
Yeah,
Before they re-release. I think Square Enix always does that. They release the same game like 4 times or 5 times.
Yeah.
Like they're spaced like a year apart.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, I think we talked about that last week, right, with the Dragon Quest stuff, but Square loves to re-release games. But I don't know if they have some kind of timed exclusivity deal with Sony for this one. Because like Sony obviously would want it on their console because it's got such a pull, right? I'm sure, like, especially like people that are not really gamers anymore but have nostalgia for 7. I'm sure like they sold quite a few PS4 units because of this game originally.
Yeah. I mean, I heard some people say they bought a PS4 just to play this game. Like,
yeah,
it
exactly.
Was the reason for the purchase.
There's a lot of like jaded gamers or people just don't game anymore, but they just loved this game when they were a kid, right? So they could just justify spending that money just for that game. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens when it comes out. And yeah, obviously, if this gets a good reception again, I'm sure a PC version won't be far behind.
So I guess next up on our new releases, Ninja Gaiden Master Collection. So this is quite a few titles bundled, right?
Yeah, this actually looks quite good, yeah. So this is like 1, 2, and 3, I think. So like the more 3D ones. I've never played the 3D versions of this game, but I've played the old ones on like the NES and the SNES. And they were always like super hard.
Yeah, I played the NES version. Yeah. But I don't know these newer ones. Actually, for some reason, I never really associated them. That might seem weird, but I just realized it's the same series.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Ninja Gaiden, obviously the name being the giveaway there, but
yeah. For
the
some
combat,
reason,
obviously, when it transitioned to 3D, the combat changed a lot. It's more like this kind of Devil May Cry, God of War style, like hack and slash. Crazy combos and like cinematic moves and stuff like that.
And the classic one is more about precise, quick platforming and fighting, right?
Yeah, well, the original ones were side scrollers, right? So
Yeah,
obviously you couldn't do this style in 2D, especially a lot of the NES, right? It's a bit kind of impossible.
yeah. But like even as a side scroller, it wasn't just like like smash the button kind of game, right? It was more of a deliberate.
Yeah, there was definitely like a knack to like the timing of the moves, and the platforming required a lot of precision. I mean, that's why it was known. It was so like infamous for being just ridiculously hard to complete.
Yeah.
Because it was just unforgiving.
But yeah, I mean, I don't actually know much about these 3D Ninja Gaiden games, but they seem almost like a different genre to me, so that's why I kind of didn't associate the two.
Oh, okay,
You
yeah.
know?
Well, I feel
Although,
like, you know, if you enjoyed Nier Automata, then this is probably going to be not far off what you kind of enjoyed about that game.
Yeah. They look good. And is this a remaster, or is it just
I believe it's
a collection?
Kind of a remaster. Like, I never know which term to use. I think it's a remaster because it's basically the original games kind of intact.
Oh, okay, I see.
But I believe it's 3 games in the collection.
Yeah,
1, 2, and 3. Sigma. What's that? Also Sigma and Razor's Edge or something like that.
But yeah, it says Master Collection, but it doesn't say Remaster Collection. So
true.
Be a little skeptical there.
Yeah, but I believe they were on the PS2 and 3. Definitely on the PS3. I'm not sure what system they were originally on, but yeah, that
I feel like
also comes out on the 10th. Yeah, so in a couple of days' time.
Cool. Yeah, relive your childhood memories with Ninja Gaiden.
Absolutely, yeah. So what's last on our list today?
Last on the list is Game Builder Garage.
Yeah.
So this is already coming out, and they just recently announced it, right?
Yeah. So like Nintendo likes to do this quite a lot with a lot of games. They just kind of surprise drop them, and then they come out within like 2 or 3 months. You know, in this case, it was like a month ago they announced it. So this is kind of cool, but this is the one I'm most excited for on this list. I don't know if I would actually buy it, but I really want to play it, and I feel like if I had a kid, I would definitely get them this game. Like it looks so cool. Like it's such a cool concept. Especially like if it's obviously designed for teaching kids how to code, and the concept of like, you know, game like code logic and how like the systems in games like stack to like work in certain orders. It looks so fun.
Yeah. I would have loved something like this when I was a kid.
Yeah. So I didn't watch this yet. This is a new video they released a week ago. So it's not the actual original trailer, but it's the overview trailer. A little bit longer, and they show off all the different systems that work in the game. But yeah, it looks kind of like an evolution of what they did with the Labo stuff. So, you know, there was like a Labo garage. Also, it was called a Labo like workshop.
Yeah. It even has this yellow theme that Nintendo tends to use for their like creative games.
Yeah, like Mario Builder, right? Or Mario Maker, sorry.
Yeah, Mario Maker, Labo. Yeah, and I think this kind of goes all the way back to like Mario Paint, you know, on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah. Mario Paint was amazing. What a great game.
Yeah. So Nintendo, like, I'm glad they keep this alive, like these kind of like quirky, creative, experimental games.
This looks really cool.
And what's cool about them is like more than being games, they're more like tools. You know, just like very easy to use, accessible tools that like almost feel like a game.
Yeah, and I think this is really smart for like a couple of reasons. But one thing is that like, I don't know if you're aware of this, but like a lot of schools actually have like Minecraft as like a thing that kids can actually play with and like use to learn, right? Because Minecraft requires a lot. It requires a lot of logic to like, you know, play it properly and build things. So it's not just like they just dick around and play it, but they, you know, they get given like, you know, like tasks by the teacher, and they'll have to figure out how to do it in Minecraft. So I could imagine that like schools would maybe invest in buying Switches to give to students if they had like coding classes or something, or computer skills classes or something like that. Because if this turns out to be actually an effective way to learn, then I think could be really cool.
That's so cool. Have you ever done any programming yourself?
Yeah, a little bit. I used to do like HTML back in the day before it was HTML5, bit of Java, bit of when I was doing engineering, I used to use C language, like the more like hardware based stuff.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I would probably get on fairly well with this. I think the only problem is like you need the time to do it, right? Because it just must take so much time to make anything worth playing, right? On this game.
Yeah, that's the trouble with anything, right? Like you don't know how much time is worth committing to it. So yeah, maybe more intended for younger audiences, right?
Yeah, but they're showing all these like kind of types of games you can make. It looks so fun. Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess that's it for our new releases. Glad to see this one coming out so quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So hopefully they do like a trial of it. I'd love to just give it a little test because I probably won't buy it myself. But
it's something that probably needs a demo, right?
yeah. I would agree. So yeah, that wraps up our new releases for the week, guys. Let's move on to our final segment, which is Japanese. So what have you got for us this week, Ryan?
So my sentence for the week is Tanaka-san ga hirota, which means Tanaka-san picked it up. And hiro is the verb meaning to pick up, which you'll hear when someone picks up an object, like just pick up off the ground or something. And it's different than teni ireta, which is like to get something. So like in The Legend of Zelda, when he gets a new item, like a potion or something, it does like da 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 da, and then it'll say like Master Sword or teni ireta, like you got the Master Sword. So these are two slightly different words. But yeah, this is a pretty common one. It's good to know to pick up something is hiro.
Yeah, so like you say, like that, the teni ireta is like the most common word to like figuratively pick something up. Like I went to the shops and picked up an apple or something. But like hiro is like literally like you bend down and pick it up off the floor, right? That's the main difference here.
Yeah, it's more like a physical.
Yeah. So I mean, it makes sense in this example, right? Because you said this was from Famicom Detective Club.
Yeah. I was playing Famicom Detective Club, and you're interviewing something, and they have this mysterious item, and he says like, "Oh yeah, I just picked it up, like on a grave." It was just laying there above the grave.
Yeah. So it would be more like descriptive, right?
Yeah. So how about you? What's your word for the week?
I've got a really weird one this week. So hiro is quite a beginner level word, right? So you're being quite fair to all our friends out there, but I just sometimes these words catch my eye and I can't help but check it out. So my word this week is gareki, which means rubble, debris, or wreckage.
Oh, okay, wow.
Which
I've never heard this one.
So the sentence was from Fantasian. I got to this village and there was a pile of crap just in the corner, and it said, "Garaki no yama fushigi na kinzoku poi mono ga majitteru," which basically means like there's a pile of like rubble, and there's like some mysterious looking metal looking objects all mixed in together. And I liked the kind of poeticness of the sentence anyway. But the reason that I kind of picked this out was because this word has two kanji that I've never seen before. So the first one, ga, is this tile, which I do know this word actually, kawara. So kawara are the like traditional Japanese roof tiles that you see them on the roofs. They're usually like silver or kind of like a dark brown color, and they've got like the curve, right, and they kind of like stack on top of each other. So kawara, but I've never seen the kanji for it. I always just saw it written in hiragana. And I also like this word, tsubute, which is small stones. So apparently that's the noun for this word, is tsubute, if you want to refer to like, I guess like gravel or something like that. And if you put those two together, it's the reading changes a little bit. Gareki. So, yeah.
That first kanji, the ga there is it kind of looks like unknown from Pokemon.
Oh, true. Yeah.
like the black squiggly character.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout actually. Yeah, so I like that word here. But I'll just break that in a sentence for you guys here. So yeah, gareki no yama. So yama is mountain. Again, this is a super simple word. This is one of my favorite Japanese words. Fushigi. So fushigina, which is the adjective to mean like mysterious or odd. Kinzoku poi. So kinzoku means metal. It's just the general category of metal. Not the music, just literally physical metal. And poi means like. So it's metal like. Mono is the noun of like an object, just like a miscellaneous object. So there's some metal type objects, and then majiteru is just like mixed together. So it's just this like heap of like junk kind of all strewn together. So I think I mentioned at the start of the show when I was talking about the game, like the language is quite difficult in this game. But I mean, this is not such a difficult sentence, but I like the use of the words, and I don't know, the general flow. I like the way it sounds. Something I liked about the sentence.
That's an interesting sentence. Yeah.
But yeah, after finishing like Wanikani and learning like most of like what I could consider like the core kanji, it's rare that I nowadays come across kanji that I've never seen before, and to see two in one word kind of caught my eye. So that's overall, yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
That's pretty impressive. You made it through Wanikani.
Yeah, man, it's not an easy slog, but I'm halfway through my second round. I'm on level 32 again. I started from, I went back to level 1 and started again.
I'm making my way through. I'm on level 15 right now.
Yeah, gambare.
So, a little bit off topic from games, but like, how long did it take you to make it through Wanikani?
Well, actually, I wouldn't say it's that far off, because like Wanikani gamifies the method of learning kanji, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it is.
You get experience points, you level up, and that way it makes you addicted to the process. But the first time round, it took me 17 months of pure excruciating torture. It was like I didn't fucking sleep, man. I was like, shit, I got reviews due at 4 a.m. So I like set my alarm. Wake up. It was a problem.
You were like into the Wanikani, like hardcore every day.
I was deep into that life, man. It was not good, yeah.
Because I am in this place where I like do it maybe 3 times a week, just casually. I'll have like 300 reviews. I just do them all. And
mean, all in all, if you use it as like a supplement to your studies, then that's not a bad thing. You know, it just helps you kind of learn some stuff. But when I started Japanese, I was just like, I looked at like a book. I don't remember what it was, and it was Japanese. I just looked at it. I was thinking like, you know, if I was an English learner, I learned 26 letters and I can get through like any word. But I was just thinking like, how the fuck am I supposed to read this if I don't know all 2,000 like standard kanji? So I was like, all right, guess I gotta learn all the kanji first. So like before I even tried reading a book, I was like, I just learned the kanji. And it was only really once I'd finished it, I actually started starting to read stuff. But it helped so much because like it's very rare nowadays that I see a word. It's not rare to see a word that I don't know, but it's rare to see a kanji that I don't know. So when there's a word I don't know, at least I can almost guess the meaning based off the kanji.
Oh,
so
wow.
I always say to people, like when they ask for like advice, not that I'm good enough to give advice, but I always think it's so worth learning the kanji first.
Really, that's funny because I'm like kind of coming from the other angle where like I didn't do a lot of kanji stuff and I just kind of like gradually pick them up over time.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good approach to like really like go intensely into studying kanji and just get as much
it has
as you can.
It's ups and downs, you know, because like, you know, you say you're on the other end, but it shows because like your listening ability is better than mine, right? Your input has been higher than mine because I just spent a lot of my, especially like the first 2 or 3 years learning. I just studied kanji and like did stuff on my own, and I was just obsessed with like learning kanji and learning words and
Mm.
doing some of the grammar stuff. But I feel like you've kind of learned more like kind of on the job, so to say, right? Kind
Yeah.
of picking
Yeah,
up as you go
totally.
along, right? And I think we've
Yeah.
both been learning the language now for roughly the same time. And I'd say our ability is about the same, but we definitely excel in different areas.
Yeah. I think you have a much like larger vocabulary than me, and you
Mm,
recognize the kanjis a lot better. But maybe finding the nuance sometimes in sentences is trickier.
mm.
Um,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but
But
yeah,
I
we're
think,
both still learning, so you know.
yeah. But I mean, you've passed N2, so on paper, you're better than me.
Well, yeah. I mean, I
Yeah, yeah.
barely passed it.
That's it, yeah. So,
we we
yeah,
we
you know,
probably
it
we
sounds
probably ended up
impressive, but
getting like about the same score. You know?
yeah, I think so, yeah. But that's why I say people always say, like, oh, I mean, you passed one, you finished one Ikani. I was like, yeah, it's not that impressive because I still didn't pass N2. So, like, it's not actually worth,
Uh,
it's not worth that much. I just know a shitload of words, but I don't know how to use them. So
That's
um,
funny, man.
but anyway, yeah, hopefully that's inspiring for anyone that's getting into the game.
Yeah, I
And
recommend
yeah,
it. Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun to learn Japanese. Gaming in Japanese is like just makes the whole experience better, I think.
absolutely,
It's,
yeah. Oh, you know, I mean, if you listen to this podcast, it's probably because you like games, right? But just doing anything that you like in your target language, I think is cool, right? So we're both musicians, right? So I'm sure you check out like music stuff in Japanese as well, and
yeah.
it
And
helps you, you know, yeah,
and
keep it up.
speaking of which, I'm starting another show on YouTube in the next hopefully in the next month or so, and it's about Japanese music. So
Yeah, so I knew that, Ryan. That was my little segue for you.
oh yeah, you really left it wide open. So
There you
uh,
go. Yeah.
but yeah, we're gonna be doing live performances, hopefully interviews with artists, and just like hanging out and talking music on that
Sounds
show. So I guess we'll have that linked whenever
yeah.
you know.
And what's it called? You got to tell the lovely people.
Oh yeah, so we're gonna call it this City Popcast.
Cool. Yeah. All right. You
So
heard that, guys.
so
The City Popcast.
yeah, City Popcast.
Yeah.
Subject to be changed, but that's what we're going with right now. So
Yeah. That's I like the name. And you forgot one really key feature of this podcast, Ryan.
what's that?
That's going to be guest solo appearances from me, shredding all over your lovely music with my
Yes,
seven
please.
string.
Yeah, we'd love to have you on. Though,
just
man. You should
wailing
come-
over the top, just destroying the
And,
song. Yeah.
if you're a Japanese learner, we're planning on doing it half English, half Japanese. So my co-host is Japanese, and we're just gonna speak our native languages, and then have it subtitled below.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll go over pretty well.
Yeah, but actually, that sounds pretty cool. I think I'll tune into that. I'm kind of interested. I don't know anything about city pop, and yeah, if I can digest some Japanese at the same time, then that sounds pretty cool. So yeah, thanks for joining me again, Ryan. As always, that's episode 10 in the bag. Exciting week coming up next week. We've got E3 on the horizon. Like I say, I'll be doing a stream on the channel at 1 bloody a.m. in the morning, Japan time, on the 16th. So please join me on the channel for that. Any final words, Ryan?
Let's see. Maybe be good, keep keep gaming, and yeah. Looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, cool. All right, we'll be back with episode 11 of the Japan Gamescast. Thanks for listening.